Hello everyone, and welcome to this little corner of the internet where we celebrate the wonderfully quirky side of Denmark. Now, most of you know Denmark as the land of hygge, Legos and pastries that could make a grown man weep, and you wouldn't be wrong, but beneath that perfectly polished surface, there's a whole lot of unexpected, hilarious and downright charming things about living in this little Scandinavian nation. So, buckle up. We're diving headfirst into 10 crazy things you didn't know about living in Denmark. Denmark, a country known for its happiness, design, and of course Vikings. But there's more to this Scandinavian gem than meets the eye. Here are 10 crazy things you didn't know about living in Denmark. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? Or should I say, the naked Dane on the beach? Yes, my friends, public nudity is about as shocking in Denmark as finding a ham sandwich in a bakery. It's not about being lewd, darling. It's about embracing the au naturel. Think of it as a national aversion to tan lines. We've got designated nudist beaches, of course, but don't be surprised if you see a bit more than you bargained for at the local harbour bath. Just remember, keep your eyes up here, love. It's rude to stare. And speaking of birthdays, in Denmark we don't just celebrate them, we elevate them to an art form. Forget the cake and candles, darlings. We're talking flags flying from houses, cinnamon attacks on unsuspecting singles over 25, and enough pastries to send your dentist into early retirement. Trust me, a Danish birthday is an experience you won't soon forget. Now, if there's one thing we Danes take more seriously than our pastries, it's our bicycles. Forget cars, darling. In Copenhagen, the bicycle is king. We've got dedicated bike lanes, traffic lights, just for cyclists, and a little thing called the green wave, a symphony of traffic lights, timed to perfection, so you can sail through the city without hitting a single red light. It's enough to make a cyclist weep with joy. But don't even think about jumping a red light, even if you're late for a pastry binge. The Danish sense of order applies even when you're on two wheels. Now let's talk about the cornerstone of Danish cuisine, the food group we hold most dear, bread. And not just any bread, my dears. I'm talking about rugbrød, the dark, dense, and utterly delicious rye bread that's as ubiquitous in Denmark as a royal on a bicycle. We're talking about a bread so revered that we have special slicing machines to achieve the perfect thickness. And don't even get me started on smørrebrød, those open-faced sandwiches that are a work of art. There's a precise order to the toppings, darlings, a culinary choreography that would make a Michelin chef weep. This isn't just lunch, it's a cultural experience. In the heart of Copenhagen, nestled amongst the palaces and parks, lies a little slice of bohemian paradise known as Christiania. Imagine, if you will, a self-proclaimed free town where the streets are adorned with colorful murals. The air is thick with the scent of, shall we say, creativity, and the rules of conventional society are, well, a bit more relaxed. It's a haven for artists, free spirits, and anyone looking for a taste of something different. Just remember, what happens in Christiania stays in Christiania. Now, one of the best things about Denmark is its size. Don't get me wrong, darling, we're small but perfectly formed, like a particularly well-crafted pastry. You can literally drive from one end of the country to the other in the time it takes to watch a really long movie. Want to have breakfast on the East Coast and watch the sunset over the North Sea? No problem. Just hop in your car and off you go. It's like having a whole country at your fingertips. Now, if there's one thing that truly sets Denmark apart, it's the level of trust we have in each other. I mean, we're talking leave your baby in a stroller outside a cafe levels of trust. And no, darling, I'm not joking. It's a common sight to see prams lined up outside shops with babies sleeping soundly inside. It might seem crazy to some, but for us, it's just a normal Tuesday. It's all about that Danish sense of community and security. We look out for each other, even if it means keeping an eye on a stranger's pram while they pop into a bakery for another rug bread. Now, let's talk about education, darling, because in Denmark, we believe that everyone deserves a good education, and we're willing to pay for it. Literally. Danish students, both at university and vocational schools, receive a monthly allowance from the government. That's right, you get paid to study. It's called SU, and it's basically the government saying, we believe in you, now go forth and learn something. Now, let's talk about the weather, darling, because in Denmark, it's a bit of a wild card. Picture this. You wake up to glorious sunshine, perfect for a bike ride. By lunchtime, it's pouring rain, so you duck into a cafe for a smørrebrød. And then, just as you're finishing your coffee, the sun comes out again, and it's a beautiful afternoon. That, my friends, is a typical day in Denmark. We've got a saying here. There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. So, pack your raincoat and your sunglasses, darling, because you never know what you're going to get. Now, let's be honest, Denmark can be a bit pricey, but there's one thing that won't break the bank. Alcohol. Yes, darling, you heard that right. Despite our high cost of living, alcohol is surprisingly affordable. You can find a decent bottle of wine in the supermarket for the price of a cup of coffee in some countries. And beer? Well, let's just say it flows like water here, especially during those long summer evenings. So, cheers to that. Just remember to drink responsibly, darling. Now, we can't talk about Denmark without mentioning hygge, can we? It's more than just a word, darling. It's a way of life. Hygge is about embracing the cozy, the comfortable, and the simple pleasures in life. It's about candlelight, good company, and maybe a slice of cake or two. It's about creating a warm and inviting atmosphere, whether you're curled up on the sofa with a good book or sharing a meal with loved ones. Hygge is about finding joy in the everyday, and it's something we Danes take very seriously. So, there you have it, my dears. 10 crazy, quirky, and utterly charming things about living in Denmark. From our love of bicycles and bread, to our relaxed attitude toward nudity, and our surprisingly affordable drinks, Denmark is a country full of surprises. So, the next time you're looking for an adventure, why not come and experience the Danish way of life for yourself? You might just fall in love with it. So, there you have it, 10 crazy things about living in Denmark. Whether it's the unique traditions, the laid-back lifestyle, or the country's quirks, Denmark is full of surprises. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into life around the world.